Hi guys, James at Rampant Lion Reviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to head over to Indiana in America once again, and this is going to be my first ever dedicated review to Floyds Brewing Company. I've done one of their collaboration beers with Amor from Denmark. I think it was the Arctic Sunstone, but this is going to be my first ever regular Floyds beer review. So for this one we have a very special beer. This one is the Zombie Dust, 6.2% ABV, single hop American IPA. Citra hops are in this one of my favourite hops in fact, and it should be pretty damn awesome. This beer was rated 100 overall on Rate Beer and 100 within the style, and a huge thank you to one of my long-term subscribers, Jesse Holden, Hops the Drinker, for sending me this beer. He sent me the Pipeworks ones a few months back, I think ago it was, and they were really damn awesome, and I'm sure the two that he sent me now are going to be pretty damn good as well. The Rate Beer thing definitely says so. So Jesse, a huge thank you once again for sending me these beers and supporting the channel. The beers that you've sent me are pretty damn incredible, so it's always cool to try these things on the channel. So big thank you to you once again for sending these over. But anyway, as is usual with my beer reviews then, I'll tell you a little bit about the brewery. If you want to get straight to the tasting, just fast forward. All the usual links are in the description below. The brewery website, the link to my future Floyds reviews will do. You can also check out the Amor one I did before. There's all the usual social media. Make sure you check that out. If you want to see more beer reviews, do subscribe to the channel, and as always, please do get in touch and let me know some suggestions of beers that you guys would like to see me review, especially from America and Indiana. I know there's some really good beers out there in America that we just won't hear of in Europe, so please do get in touch and let me know some of these and where I can get them as well. So anyway, to tell you a little bit about Floyds Brewing Company. So these guys are based in Indiana, as I mentioned before, and they were founded back in 1996 by Mike Floyd and his two sons Nick and Simon. The brewery was originally based in Hammond, but they're now based down in Munster. And apparently they actually started the brewery out with just a few $100s. Their original equipment was apparently a 5-barrel Frankenstein wok burner and also some open Swiss cheese fermenters. And that really kind of launched them on the way to success. These guys are very, very highly regarded. But they also stick to the basic tenets of the German purity law, the Reinheitsgebot, and they say that this allows them to brew a huge variety of styles. And, you know, sticking to these principles is the main reason this brewery have become as good as they are. And word of mouth as well. These guys produce some pretty damn awesome stuff by all accounts. But they also have their own brew pub on the Indiana Parkway in Munster, and this has a kiosk where you can actually buy the beers to take away, and they also offer first come first served tours of the brewery every Saturday as well. They do have a very impressive range on their regular range of beers. Actually, just to list those for you, there's the Alpha King APA, Arctic Panzerwolf, which is a double IPA, Backmasking, which is an oatmeal stout. There's the Dreadnought, which is a double IPA, Gumball Head Weizen, Jinx Proof Pills, Permanent Funeral, which is a pale ale, apparently brewed with the guys from the band Pig Destroyer. Robert the Bruce, which is a Scotch ale. I'd love to try that one actually. There's the Space Station APA, Yum Yum, which is an American session ale, and then there's this guy here, the Zombie Dust, which is a single hop APA. And they do have several other ranges, seasonals and one-off brews and things like that. So there's many, many good things to try from this brewery, so make sure you check them out. These guys, like I say, are very, very highly regarded, and of course I'm sure Jesse will tell you that as well. He really knows his stuff from that area around the Chicago area in America. He's sent me some great beers. Pipeworks, I guess, are another one that he loves that you really need to check out. So anyway, I'll just bring up the camera and let you have a little look at the artwork before we open this one up. As I mentioned to you, this guy is a 6.2% American IPA, single hop with Citra, like I said, and you can see there the artwork on this is pretty damn awesome. That's really impressive artwork actually. You can see the bottle cap is really cool on this one as well. Just take it back so you can see it in the light. But it looks very, very good, this one. It's always good when you get a beer that has pretty damn awesome artwork like this, and then you can see that it's got a really awesome beer inside it too. The artwork on this one was actually done by Tim Seeley. They've got all the artwork listed on their website as well, which is pretty damn cool. And as I say, Pipeworks in that area are another one who have some pretty damn awesome stuff. So let's get this guy open and we'll get on with the tasting then. Really looking forward to this one. Oh, didn't want to open there. So yeah, as you can see, a nice smoky opening on this one, and you can smell that Citra hop just coming out there as we get this guy into the glass. This should be a really damn awesome beer. So once again, thank you to Jesse for sending this beer over to Japan for me. This is a very well travelled bottle of beer actually, because I brought it back here to Scotland from Japan. So this beer has been about 2/3 of the way around the world on its journey to my stomach. So yeah, should be quite nice. So as you can see, this beer has poured a really quite nice goldeny amber colour, I'd say. If I bring it over to the light and just let you see this, it's a really nice kind of quite bright golden amber colour. Maybe you can see it better actually if I put this light on here. You can see just what kind of colour that beer is. But there's a solid finger of a frothy, kind of white creamy coloured head on this one. Some big bubbles of carbonation sticking towards the side of the glass, but quite a few little ones just going up towards the bottom of the head there. You can see if I put my fingers behind it, the beer isn't really transparent actually, but it looks absolutely as you would expect from an American IPA. So let's take a closer look at the aroma of this one and see how we get on. Yeah, first thing you'll notice about this beer right away is the Citra hops. The Citra hop is a really interesting one because you get a little bit of a kind of grapefruit sort of passion fruity thing from this, but you also get these more subtle kind of juicy sort of fruity tropical notes, and it works really nicely. One of my favourite hops, in fact, I'd say. So with this one, as you would expect, there's actually a little bit of orange. When you sugar it up a little bit, I get a little bit of a kind of citrusy orange coming out of this one, but that's not usually a feature of the Citra hop actually. Maybe it's a little bit of passion fruit, but you can get a little bit of the oily grapefruit coming out of this one. There's some kind of lychees or sort of gooseberries, maybe peaches coming out of this one. It's that sort of thing you get from this: gooseberries, lychees, peaches, maybe a little bit of mango or something like that too. But when you sugar the beer up, you can get a little bit of the kind of nice sweet caramel malts underneath this, sort of caramelly biscuity malt in this one. Pardon me. But you also get a little bit of the sort of grassy and floral aspects that you expect of these American hops. Maybe a little bit of pine resin in there too, but that's very subtle. I'm also getting a little bit of an earthy character coming out of this one, a little sort of earthy kind of herbal thing going on. But that's quite minimal. The focus really is on the fruity characteristics of this Citra hop. And like I say, there's a good bit of malty character coming out of this beer as well. Some nice caramelly and sort of biscuity notes in there. But it smells absolutely lovely. This is going to be a top class IPA. You can just tell from the smell of this one. So yeah, let's get stuck into this beer then. So this is the Zombie Dust 6.2% single hopped Citra IPA from 3 Floyds in Munster, Indiana, America. Once again, huge thank you to Jesse for sending me this beer. Slàinte. Yeah, that is a pretty damn awesome beer, I have to say that. Now, I can see why this beer is so highly rated actually. The first thing you're going to get on this one, you can feel the quality of the hop in this one right around the edge of your palate. As soon as it comes in, big and hoppy blast, but then it just it sort of fades away a little bit and you start to get all the more subtle flavours that you expect of this Citra hop. And the one thing I'm noticing about this beer as well, it's a lot more piney and resinous than I was expecting from the aroma. So yeah, it's really nicely done. In the middle of the palate, there's a sort of pale malt base to this one that goes right across the middle of the tongue. There's some grainy kind of cereally aspects to it as well, but then on top of that you're getting the sweeter caramel, a little bit of that biscuity sweetness in there too. But the main focus of this beer, of course, is the hops. It tastes more like a pale ale in this one than an IPA. I think it said it was a pale ale actually rather than an IPA. That's a slip up I've made when I'm reviewing this one, because the malt is a lot more subtle than the hops in this one. This one probably is an EPA rather than an IPA. But this is a pretty damn good beer, there's no doubt about that. As you would expect, the main focus of the flavour on this one is around the edges of the palate. So in the very back corners of the palate you get a little tiny bit of earthiness in there, maybe a little bit of a kind of herbally thing going on, but really the focus is on what comes in front of that. So around the edges of the tongue you've got some nice piney resins. There's a good big floral aromaticity to this one, and there's some smooth grassiness around the front curve of the tongue there. I'm actually surprised that this one's a single hop. I would have thought that there was something like Centennial mixed in with this one. I don't remember the Citra hop being quite as floral as this, so it's really cool to try it on its own and actually get a proper feel for the hop. But yeah, that's lovely. So yeah, just pay attention to the edges of the palate. There's this really big piney resin character, then some dark floral aromaticity on top of it. As I say, some smoother grassy notes around the front curve of the tongue. Then just as you go behind the front curve of the tongue, you get that little oily bubble where the fruity aspects start to come out. For me, there's a lot of grapefruit, and then behind that you start to get the more passion fruity notes coming out of this beer. And as you progress into the aftertaste, you've got that floral, that very dark floral and kind of piney character just lingering in there. And then that's when you start to get some of the more juicy fruit aspects coming out of this beer. That's a pretty damn solid beer, there's no question about that. Yeah, so when you go behind the front curve of the tongue there, you can pick out these little more subtle notes of the fruit, like I was saying. As you progress into the aftertaste, I want to say there's a little bit of a kind of gooseberry and sort of light cheese thing that just comes out in the back part of that oily bubble. But you can also, the grapefruit does kind of linger there as well, with the passion fruit a little bit. I'm not really getting the kind of peaches or mangoes. I think it's more of a slightly kind of gooseberry or light cheese thing that's coming out of this one as you progress into the aftertaste. But what's that's in no doubt in my mind about this beer is that it's a pretty damn awesome one. Jesse has done me a solid once again with this beer. Absolutely top class stuff. So again, Jesse, huge thank you for this one. But yeah, if you like the Citra hop, you'll definitely enjoy this one. If you enjoyed the big kind of floral, aromatic-y and pine resiny beers, this is another one that you're certainly going to enjoy. So give it a go if that's what you're into. In terms of the mouthfeel, I'd say this one is mid-bodied. It's got a nice smooth carbonation. It's quite oily in the mouthfeel, in fact, but that helps bring out some of the fruitier characteristics, especially in the aftertaste of the beer. It's got a lot of dryness from the hops, a little bit of sweetness from the malt, but I would say the malt in this one is quite minimal, which makes me think it's an APA rather than an American IPA where you'd expect more caramel and things. But really, it's very, very nicely done. The hop character in this one is really dark, kind of pine resiny and floral aromaticity. This is very, very nicely done. But yeah, an absolutely solid beer. There's a little bit of juicy character from the fruit as well, and you know, if you're into the American style beers, this is a very, very solid one, and you're not going to come across many that are much better than this. So yeah, make sure you check it out. Yeah, the Zombie Dust from Floyds Brewing Company in Munster, Indiana. Huge thank you once again to Jesse for sending me this beer. Hopefully I can try some more from Floyds in the fairly near future. It's always cool to try beers from different states such as this one. This is a brewery that we hear a lot about in Europe, but it's very, very difficult to actually come across their stuff, so it would be awesome to get over there and try some more of these things. So you might see me doing some beer videos with Jesse at some point. So yeah, until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. I hope you've enjoyed this beer review. Make sure you go and check out all my social media. Let me know in the comment section below your own thoughts on this beer if you do happen to have tried it before. Let me know your favourite beers from the brewery as well. Always interesting to hear from you guys. But until the next time, slange just now, and I will catch you soon. A huge thank you to Jesse once again for sending me this beer, the Zombie Dust from Floyds Brewing Company over in Munster, Indiana. A pretty damn awesome American pale ale. Really, really good stuff. If you like the Citra hop, make sure you check out this one. Slange just now.